So, I'm non-binary.
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
Oh, lovely. They've sent me a moron!
Hello everybody, this is Clarke Emily, your favorite token subhuman transsexual meant to be used as an object for political purposes. Dragon Age Veilguard, you've probably seen some clips going around on Twitter. You've also probably seen some people talking about it on YouTube, but what you probably haven't seen is from a trans perspective. And no, I don't mean the trans perspective from people who think that there are 77 genders and that they can identify as the moon. We can already identify people of that scale due to the lard emanating from their microphones. We've already had a few woke games, you know the ones that we can identify by their political agenda that they can't help but to shove down our throats. Think Dustborn, that government-funded modern audience slop. We've also had people trying to politicize other games, such as Hogwarts Legacy. You remember the one where people made websites to try and identify and name and shame those that had played Hogwarts Legacy and bully people who had played it. But Dragon Age Veilguard is different. It's actually a very big franchise with a huge load of fans that just completely gave up and decided to shove in aggressively blatant woke-ass propaganda. And by woke, I mean the ideology that seeks to categorize every single person into categories that they don't control, who jerk themselves off every single time they get extra Reddit karma, to feel special instead of special in quotes, because they don't really want to acknowledge that fact. Let's start with the most basic aspect of a lot of the bullshit that is apparently destroying the Dragon Age franchise. First of all, the character creator. You know what Dragon Age Veilguard is about? It's about a fantasy land full of magic and shit. And because magic is magical, you can use that magical magic to make magic happen and do whatever the fuck you want. You know what you can't do with magic though? Find a third gender, because the character creator includes, despite the fact that this is a magical game, where you roleplay as a character with magic, has a character creator where you can fetishize a mental condition by including top surgery scars in your character. In case you don't know what that is, it's the surgery in which a person who was born a female removes their breasts. You can tell that this was added for ideological reasons and not narrative reasons, because anyone with half a fucking brain cell and a passion for writing, no, scratch that, any competency in writing would have included a segment in the game or a character in the game that could have certain aspects of your character removed. You could go to a wizard who would do it and you would have no scars, and you could go to a non-wizard who would do it but you would have scars, and then it would make sense in the game world. But no, this was added for political brownie points and ideological masturbation, because of course we just can't have a game free of modern shite politics and fetishization of shit that really should be taken more seriously. If it had stopped at that, I honestly wouldn't have even made a video, because it would have just been something that people laughed about and forgot about. But no, as the game came out and more clips came out from the game, it just turned out that the game is even worse than I thought. From Indian elves with prosthetic legs to millennial level writing. No offense to millennials, of course, because this is even worse. Dragon Age Veilguard seems to me, and to the people that have talked to me about it, like a fucking 80-hour long political lecture. What really tipped the scales was a scene where 3 characters are sitting at a table. One of them, who looks about as human as the average Kotaku employee, decides to sit down at the table and declare that they are non-binary. What follows is a 5-minute long struggle session where the mother is trying to understand what the fuck she means by non-binary, and then you get the equivalent of a 15-year-old who spent too much time on Tumblr and Reddit trying to explain how they are actually very special and want to have their preferred pronouns used. I don't think the writers intended this, but the mother appears to just be confused and want to understand what the fuck is being talked about. But of course, because of the shitty virtue signaling struggle session that this has to be because someone said so, they are clearly the bad guy, and the now non-binary they-them is actually the poor oppressed hero who's coming out and just wants to be happy.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
If this is because I have criticized your dress or your manners...
It isn't!
Under the Cune, the term for one whose gender does not match the one given to them at birth was a cunithlock. Perhaps you are like that.
Why do you have to keep picking at it? Why can't you just be happy for me?
Evitash, Chakra Toebra.
So I'm supposed to struggle with who I am? Even if I don't feel like I fit, even if I feel wrong?
80 hours of shit like this, by the way. No, I did not sit through it, and neither should you, but yeah, 80 hours of shit like this. That'll be $70, please. And now you might be wondering, Enclave Emily, aren't you trans? Aren't you in favor of all this?
I just got bullied for being gay.
Oh yeah? What's about to happen again?
I am so fucking sick of something as serious as gender dysphoria being used by absolute retarded communists to push an agenda, pushing an agenda by also, in part, using ignorant people to go to other ignorant people into supporting something that really shouldn't be fucking supported. In any way that doesn't involve recommending them to the nearest doctor. Gender dysphoria is a serious subject that needs to be handled seriously. Instead, it's used as a fucking political tool by people who have absolutely no fucking creativity and just want to destroy the things that you enjoy for the sake of their agenda. They don't give a shit about you, they don't care about you, they don't like you, and honestly, they don't really like the people that they're trying to pander towards either, because if they were, they'd actually try to, you know, be respectful or be actually, you know, clever with how they do it. No, instead, every single time I have to explain that no, I'm not retarded, because regular people who might not be trans will just see shit like this and associate me with shit like this. And you who are interested in fantasy games where you use magic to do magical shit and fantastical shit have to put up with your games being turned to trash because some retard can't be bothered to go to a writing class or put in the nearest psychiatric ward, I suppose. Leave a fire emoji if you agree or made it this far into the video. If you're one of those people that actually wants more trans inclusivity in games, you should be the one that's primarily bitching about this sort of shit because it just makes us all look bad. And fuck you if you're defending this crap. Thank you very much. And to the rest of you, well, you know, refund the game, don't pre-order it, of course, and I hope you find something else to play, and I apologize for this sort of shit. It's really out of my control, isn't it? Because surprisingly enough, just because one person is in a group doesn't mean we're all a hive mind. Although I wouldn't blame you if you believe this to be the case, because holy fucking shit, this is cringe. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to moping in my corner. Thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for rating, and I will see you all in my next video, where I will discuss the demonization of Fallout New Vegas fans. Thanks for watching.